being a parent is not just about teaching your kids right from wrong, but it's teaching them how to live in this world, how to be a productive citizen. And like you talked about, the decision-making process, you know, teaching them how to, because you have to teach people, you know, how this is how you make a decision.
And not make the decision for them or tell them this is what you're going to do. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Marriage Matters, where we talk about all things related to marriage, relationship, family, friends, all of the things, right?
All of them.
Yes. So my name's Tynia Coleman, and I am joined by my husband and co-host and life partner and all of the things.
Lover.
With this handsome, yes, my lover and friend. Yes.
Companion.
All of those things. What's your name?
Oh, Glenn Coleman.
Yes. So I'm Tynia, and this is Glenn, and we want to welcome you to Marriage Matters this week. This week is a very special week. If you are watching this when it is first put out, it is Father's Day.
Yes, it is.
So today we are focusing on fatherhood, and I have the absolute privilege and honor of interviewing my husband about his fatherhood journey.
Okay.
Are you ready for this?
For sure.
For sure?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm excited, you know.
I think it's going to be fun. So I have a list of questions.
Okay.
And thank you. I also have a couple of questions from your daughters. So,
this should be interesting.
Yes. So we will get to those in just a bit. So today is going to be really, really relaxed and fun. And I want you to just share your heart. Okay?
Okay. I think I can do that.
Can you do that? All right.
Do I need tissue?
Possibly. If we need it, we'll call for it. All right. So the first question is pretty simple.
Okay. How
do you feel fatherhood is going for you right now? So we have if you don't know, we have a 14-year-old and a 16-year-old. Glenn is the only man in the house. So he's in a house full of ladies. We just got a puppy, and it is a female. So
couldn't even get a male dog.
A male dog. So yeah. How do you feel fatherhood is going for you in this house full of women?
I think overall for me, it's going well. I don't, you know, I joke about it a lot, about being in a house full of women. But I don't feel that I'm lacking anything. I don't feel that you guys, you know, over feminize everything. I don't know if that's the right way to say it. But no, I think it's going well. Okay. I know that like any parent, any father, I mean, I've had my moments. I've had struggles. I've made mistakes. But I think overall that I have learned from those struggles and those mistakes. And I think that I really try to do better and be better as a father. So I think that kind of helps. It's like with our girls, I think that, and I don't know, this is me looking from the outside, you can ask them, but I think the fact that I'm willing to try to be better helps them. It helps me be a better father. I don't know if that makes sense. Okay. But I think that helps them to relate to me better when they know that everything is not always cut and dry. Although I think, you know, in the beginning phases of my fatherhood experience, it was that way. But I think my point is I'm growing. So I think overall, I said I like to say overall it's going good.
Good. Awesome. Okay, second question. What are your relationship differences with each of your children? because they're not the same.
Right, right.
So how are your relationships different with each other?
I'll start with the oldest. Since she came into my life first. Our relationship is very, we connect on a emotional level, if I could say that, a lot more. Maybe not emotional is the right word. But so this morning, right? Okay, I'll say it this way. One of my top 2 love language is touch. And I think my oldest is the same.
I would agree.
Because we vibe on that level. She likes to hug. She likes to cuddle. And I was going to say this morning, the youngest, I guess we say names.
You can say their names.
We've said names before. But Bailey, she was coming out her room and I was like, come give me some love. And she was, of course, like, ooh, ooh. And I was like, hug your daddy back. Hug him back. And I was kissing on her and I was like, here, take this love, take the love. And she was just like, oh my God, Dad, why? It was like, because you need to experience love from your dad. So when I was finished with that, Bethany was standing there.
Ready.
Can I have some? So it was the funniest thing. So I gave her time, but so I really connect with Bethany on I think I would say emotional.
You both like that,
the touch, the physical
hug
touch,
and cuddle, and all those different things.
I connect with her there. I also connect with Bethany on just the on a administration level, if I could say that. We both really enjoy organizing and just, being strategic, planning things. So we connect on that level. Right. And I think just personality wise, we have we're a lot alike. And it's funny because I see myself in both of them, but it's like when I see that side of her, the extreme of it, of everything, boom, 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 I'm like, whoa, I know where she gets that from, and I'm sorry, but so we connect on that level too. Yeah. So it's like when when things are planned, and I'm trying to think of something particular, but there've been times where like we've seen something and we're both like,
right, that's amazing. Like, it's in order, it's color coordinated, everything lines up.
So we've connected on that level. With Bailey, I think I connect with her on more on my creative side, because she is more she's into music. And I do have a chill side too. Yeah. So we connect that way. Just, like Bethany was like, how could you just lay on the sofa and just, watch TV all day or something like that? I'm like, man, I could do that. And so we connect on that just kind of being level. Right. And that we always don't have to be on and just, in the moment, we can just be around each other. We don't have to talk. So we connect on that level. Like I said, we could connect on the music thing, the creativity thing. I mean, one of the joys of my life, one of the fun, and we need to do this more often. And maybe we'll do it even more. Like I'm working on getting a new camera. But when she did that 4-H photo shoot, and me just going out into the city and just taking pictures with her, and just to see how much she enjoyed it. Yeah. And just was like, and I had to slow her down. Like, wait, Bailey, she's running around just taking pictures. I connect with her on that level. What else? So yeah, I think that's kind of how we connect. And I had to learn that, and even when I talk to them or I give them information, let me say it that way. When I give them information, I know that I can't give information to Bethany the same way I give it to Bailey. And I can't give Bailey that information the same way I give it to Bethany. So I think identifying that and understanding that helps me to be the father that they need.
That's so good. I love that, being the father that they need.
And not the father that the frame in what I'm saying, the image or
that you want
that I see
that you've seen
that I think I need to be the disciplinarian when I how they say that when I say something, you jump.
You move. Yeah.
When I speak,
much.
you jump,
Yeah.
or something like that. I don't have to be that.
Right.
I can be, and I can't. I have I have to be different fathers for both of them. Mm-hmm. But I'm still both of their fathers.
It does. It makes complete sense. And I wanted to do this for our Father's Day episode because I know that there are so many fathers out there who, especially, if they don't live in the same home with their children, or maybe the relationship is estranged, or they're having trouble connecting and things like that. I wanted to be able to put something out there that may be beneficial and helpful for those people. Or even, dads who are they're doing a fabulous job and the relationship is great. I think that we all can learn from one another. Yeah. So if you had maybe something in particular for girl dads that you would share with them, what would that be?
Make sure that they know that their value. Mm-hmm. And you do that by affirming them. Mm-hmm. You do that by, you have to find a way to correct them without tearing them down.
That's so good. Yeah.
You have to find a way of teaching and disciplining or correcting by building them up. Mm-hmm. That was another word I was looking for. But yeah, you have to just reassure them and let them know that, find ways to let them know they are perfect just as they are, no exception, and letting them know that there's nothing that they can do that's going to change that for me.
Sure.
And letting them know that that dad is always gonna go to bat for you, and if it's in my power, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we talked a little bit about how your relationship is different with each of the girls. How is it, do you think, the same? Like what are like the things that you don't necessarily adjust on because this may be like a core belief for you?
So
how, I'm asking like how are the relationships the same? So we talked about the differences, but how do you show up in relationship with them the same way? Okay.
So the standard is the same for both of them.
Okay. Yeah.
And when I say standard, I mean, so like, I'll just use this example, and I don't know, maybe this is not a good example, but so like when it comes to like school, I know that Bethany is a student. She is a student, and she is going to,
she's the more studious.
Right. Bailey, on the other hand, she's a smart kid, but I know that, let me say, for her, it's not as important that she has a 4.6 GPA.
Right.
She's like, hey, I passed the class. But
she does more than pass the class.
But you know what I mean. In her, for her.
Right.
But I hold them to the standard of, you're going to do your best.
That's it. Yeah.
And I know you, and I know what your best is. So I'm not saying that you have to have a 4 point whatever.
Right.
But I know what your best is.
Right.
And I'm not going to make you I'm not going to put Bethany's expectation on you.
Yeah, that's good.
So, but I'm going to hold you to a standard. I'm going to hold you to the standard of respect.
Yeah.
And I understand though that Bethany, if we say something to her, she pretty much is going to, okay. I know Bailey though, is, and I had to learn this, it's not that she's talking back, because that's, when we grew up, it's like you talking back, but it's her trying to really get the particulars or hone into really what I'm trying to convey to her.
Right.
And
you do a much better job at managing that than I do.
But I'm just saying though, but respect is the standard.
Right.
And I know when you're being disrespectful so even though I may allow you to have commentary. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
You're going to respect me. So even though I let them both express themselves in their way, I hold them both to the same standard. But I think the problem has been that the standard is often, again, not based on, it's like, I'm trying to think of a good way to say it. It's based on something, it's based on the tangible and not the spirit.
Yeah.
So the tangible of respect and the spirit of respect can sometimes not look alike.
Yeah.
So in the tangible, it's like, don't say anything to me when I say something to you.
Right.
But the spirit of that is, I'm saying this because I do respect you, and I don't want to. It's like I
want to understand.
Not that I want to understand, but I as a kid, I want to respect you. And so if you can't allow me to speak my mind, how can I respect you?
That's good. Yeah.
That
makes perfect sense. And it's, I mean, for, like you said, because of the way that we grew up, we didn't have that space.
No.
And I honestly think that that's, it can cause people to struggle with decision making because you're not allowed to think for yourself, or to voice an opinion, And so I think we actually started kind of parenting that way, but we've evolved our parenting style. So that was a very good answer. I like it. How did fatherhood change you?
I think it made me more pliable, if I could say, because that's, I think, before the girls, and even like I said, for the first part of my fatherhood, me being a father, I think I was a lot more stern and authoritarian, but not, what's the opposite of pliable? Rigid. There you go. I was a lot more rigid, and there were no, it's like it's this way, which in actuality it's really not that way. It could, there was no gray areas.
Right.
It was black and white. Things were black and white. It's either you do or you don't. There was no in between. One of the things I think that it has changed is making me more pliable. I also think that just my ability to forgive and my ability to look past people's faults has changed when I became a father.
Wow.
And it really helped me. I always say this, when I became a father, I understood God better. Because until I think you are a parent, you don't understand God's forgiveness, which God's forgiveness, even as a parent, is it's infinite more than mine, right? Yeah. But I'm just saying, I understand how He could, as our Father, look past our shortcomings or forgive us time and time and time again. So I think those are two of the things that I can think of immediately. It made me a lot more selfless. So much to the point, I think maybe I need to work on me, doing for me a little bit more because, and this, if I would gladly give up, anything for my girls. And I joke with Bethany when she got her braces, and I always told her, I wanted to get a new vehicle. And she was like, I told her, I was always joke with her, I wanted to get a new vehicle, but I can't because my down payment is in your mouth.
That $5,000.
And I joke that way, but she knows I'm just joking.
Right.
But that's, to me what a parent is all about, is putting my kids' needs before mine.
Exactly.
And if it's a choice between what I need and what they need, automatically
they're going to win every time.
They're going to win every time.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with that. When you were talking, I thought about how you often talk about Is this a preference, or is this, what's the other
Principle.
word? Principle. And so when you were talking about how you become more pliable, I thought about that, you often, you look at things and you say, it's kind of like, and we have those discussions sometimes, well, is this just our preference? Or is this a principle or a standard that we need to maintain? And so I think that it allows us, we stay in relationship with them.
Yeah.
And the relationship it's back and forth. Any parent who's raising teenagers, that you're going to run into challenges just because of what they're going through within themselves and trying to figure themselves out and, and learn to be their own person and all that. And that's just a part of growing up. And I think what you just described gives them that space within a safety net to do that.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the things that, like, you talked about this, about one of the things that being a parent is not just about teaching your kids right from wrong, but it's teaching them how to live in this world, how to be a productive citizen. Yeah. And like you talked about the decision-making process, teaching them how to, because you have to teach people, how this is how you make a decision.
And not make the decision for them or tell them this is what you're going to do.
And not, make them, I never forget this. When Bethany got her first phone and I don't remember what happened. I think she was in her backpack and she set up against it and cracked the screen. And so when it was time to get it fixed, she was in the 8th grade, was she?
She was younger.
No, she was in the 6th grade because when she went to junior high, that's when we got her first phone. So she was in the 6th grade and she was like, okay, so I want to get my phone fixed. I was like, okay. I said, well, you need to fix my phone, the place, and find out how much it is. And she had just won a gift card from the youth group. It was like a $50 gift card for that store. She was like, well, I can use my card to get it done. And I said, okay, well, whatever it is, because I knew it was going to be more than $50.
Sure. Yeah.
So I said, well, whatever the balance is, I'll take care of it. I said, but you're going to have to call and get the information and how much it is, whatever. And I'll never forget, man, she's like, Dad, you call. And I was like, Bethany? And I told her, I said, it's not going to. She kept that phone cracked for a couple of days. And I was like, I am not going to call. This is your first lesson. You wanted a phone. That's your phone.
Right.
I'll pay the bill, but you need to take some responsibility. And she finally did it. And so now today, so like Tynia just mentioned, we just got a new puppy. Shout out to Olive.
Yes. Hello, Olive. She might start barking.
I know.
Her name.
But she took hold of that process and she called the pound. She set up the appointments. And, we got to the, I hate to say pound, I know that's old school, to the shelter. And she called the lady, we're here, and blah, blah, blah. Set up the appointments to go do it, did all the paperwork. All I had to do was whip out my card and pay for it. And she still has some growing to do in that, but that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about, teaching people how to be productive citizens, teaching them, about money. What does it mean to have money? Teaching them how to save, teaching them about investments, teaching them, how to, it's better for your money to work for you and not you work for your money. And so all those things, not just telling them what's right and what's wrong and giving them a moral compass, but teaching them how to be productive in life.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's good. That's very good, babe. So let's see. What do you feel has been, or have you had any regrets or made any big mistakes in your fathering of your children?
Yes. I made a lot of mistakes. My biggest regret, there's so many. No.
Really?
No, that's not that. My biggest regret is not being more nurturing and caring early on.
Yeah.
I can just remember moments where my anger got the best of me. And here are, a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old with this terrifying look. And I regret that.
Yeah.
I regret those looks.
Yeah.
And when I saw their faces, it made me realize I had to change. So I guess if it's any, that's one of the biggest. Another regret is I regret not, how do I want to say this? Not taking control of my life earlier so that I could be better for them earlier. Does that make sense?
It does to me because I know your story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that I would like to do now for them that I can't do because I feel like in some ways I'm kind of behind the ball or behind the curve because I didn't make certain decisions. I was more hesitant. I was gun shy or whatever you want to call it in a lot of areas in my life early on. And so now when it comes time to do certain things for them, I can't do it yet. I'll say that word yet.
Right.
But I do believe that God can restore that time and make up for that. So it's not a big deal for me. So that's kind of, I think, my two biggest regrets.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. It's very vulnerable.
Yeah, I'm trying not to, I'm trying not to cry. Okay. Oh Lord Jesus.
Okay, so let's change.
No, I'm good. I'm good with it.
Okay.
I'm good with it.
So the other question is, what do you feel is your greatest victory so far in parenting or fathering?
Greatest victory.
Yeah, so far, because there's so many more to come.
Yeah. Okay. You want specifics, like specific instances, or
you can, however you want to share. It's your story to share.
To see, man, this is a hard one. I mean, just the young women that they're becoming, one of the moments that I really just was like, boom, 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 chest beating was, Lily sent me a video of Bethany leading worship and Bailey playing the guitar behind her.
Yeah.
That was like, wow.
Yeah.
I was like,
oh, God is good. Hey, okay.
Watching Bailey at one of her band concerts, Bethany, bringing home a report card with all A's on it, and just when they show the kindness and the kindness and the integrity that I know that they have in them to others, it's just and when I hear other people, tell me, when I hear teachers say, if I had a class full of Bethanys or a class full of Baileys, it's a proud moment. Now, I wish that they would show that same kindness with each other more, and they do.
They do. They have their moments.
That's another one of those moments where when they do have those, like the other day I walked in here and they both had ukuleles sitting on the sofa, and Bailey was showing Bethany some chords on the ukulele, and I was just like, oh, So yeah, all those things.
Yes,
not a lot. There's way more proud moments than disappointed.
Yeah,
moments.
absolutely, I agree. Well, this question that I have is actually the question that I think Bailey has.
Okay.
This is Bailey's question. What's one thing you want to tell your kids that they will use in life? My question was similar in what do you want your daughters to know, or what are you trying to teach them before they become adults?
So I just posted this actually on my Facebook page. And it's a poem by Mary Ann Williamson. And there's a line in there that says, playing small, your playing small does not serve the world.
Yeah.
And if there's anything that I would tell them is don't shrink back. Don't let anything shrink your vision or your desire. Pursue it without no matter what it is. You know, if you want to be a movie star, pursue that.
Yeah.
Do everything in your power to do that.
Right.
You know, and it may work out, it may not, but don't shrink back, you know, because of what people say or because of what you may think. If God gave you that idea, if God gave you that drive to do that, then just do it. Don't play small. Don't shrink yourself back to make other people feel good or to make yourself feel safe or make yourself comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, those ideas don't just come out of anywhere. I think those are God. Those are spoken to our hearts by God. So don't play small, play big.
That's so good. I love that. Well, I guess I'll read Beth's question. Bethany asks, what is the biggest lesson fatherhood has taught you?
The biggest lesson that fatherhood has taught me. You should have gave these questions beforehand so I can think.
No, it's more fun this way.
Okay. The biggest lesson that fatherhood has taught me is that you can't, everyone's different. And you can't love people the way you want to be loved, or you cannot love people the way you think they need to be loved.
Sure.
You have to love them the way they want to be loved. Or whether that's managing people, maybe it's not loving people per se, but dealing with people.
Right.
You can't just be cookie cutter with people. You have to, like Paul said, become all things to all men.
Yeah.
And Paul the Apostle in the Bible is what I'm referring to.
Not Paul up the street.
Yeah. Paul who? Who said that? Paul Gasol? No. So yeah, you can't just, people are not cookie cutter.
Yeah.
You know, and always try to understand people's perspective before you judge them. You know.
So good. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. How would you describe Bethany?
How would I describe Bethany? The first female president of the United States.
Come on.
That's how I would describe. I mean, she is a very studious, matter of fact, no nonsense person. Yeah. I remember when she was probably 3 or 4, my brother-in-law, Kerry Kokai, shout out to my brother-in-law.
Hey, brother-in-law.
But he was playing with Bethany in her room, and Bethany had this little kitchen.
It was the door kitchen set.
And you know, she was playing with her with the kitchen set. So he comes out of her room. He said, "Bruh, I don't know who or what, but she gonna run something one day." So that's even from an early age, she is a leader.
Yeah, she is a leader.
She's a leader.
Yeah, and I think she is.
One word to describe her is leader.
Is leader. I think she is coming into that realization. She's now starting to grow into that. So yeah, I think you're right. How would you describe Bailey?
I would describe Bailey as Academy Award winning, multi-talented actor, musician, comedian. You know, she is in the true sense of the word artist. She is an artist. She is a feeler.
Yeah.
She leads with her heart.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes that hurts her. Not hurts her in that sets her back, but she has more of a she can get hurt.
Yeah, her feelings
easily.
Right.
But that's not because she's easily offended. It's because she leads with her heart.
Yeah,
and everybody is not going to. Some people are going to take advantage of that. Some people are going to knock that away.
Right.
You know,
they're not going to understand it.
Right.
And accept the gift that it is.
Yeah. So she is a. In every sense of the word, yeah, she's a true creative. I think from everything from, like I said, what she does with her artwork, music, the way she dresses, the way she thinks. She's a free spirit. I'll say that.
Yes, absolutely.
She's a free spirit.
She, out of the two of them, it's just like she was quicker to develop her style and how she wants to show up in the world and present herself, even, at this early age. And I know that will evolve, but it's just like, where'd you get that from?
She's very self-aware.
Yeah. Oh, she is very
I think she's more self-aware than me, I think. I mean, I've had conversations with her about, some pretty serious topics.
And she is aware of how she feels and thinks about it.
And she tells me, A, B, and C, and I was like, okay, thank you for that lesson, Bailey. I will heed what you said and do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's very self-aware.
Good. What piece of advice would you like to offer fathers who may be struggling with their relationships with their kids?
Number one is don't give up. Number two, well, I guess I'll just, don't give up. No matter how much they push you away, just be there waiting. It's like waiting in the sideline because they're going to mess up, they're going to fall, and they're going to need you.
Yeah. And
number two, God dog it, I forgot number two. I said, don't give up. Oh, and just be there.
Yeah.
It's like we think that we have to have all this stuff, but just being there, being in their life, going, if just taking them for a walk around the neighborhood or going for a drive, whatever, just being in their lives and getting involved in what they're interested in. Yeah, all of that, and I think it's not even, a lot of times we think we have to do all these activities. I think you just being there, just being present. In their lives and paying attention. So don't give up and be present.
Yeah, that's so good. All right. So we have two more questions.
Okay.
All right. The first one is, what life lesson have you learned from your father?
What have I learned from my father? Man, again, I mean, that's so much. In what aspect?
Something that you kind of keep close.
Towards fatherhood? Or
rather be fatherhood, life, whatever. Something that you learned from your father. We're honoring fathers today. So a way of honoring daddy. What have you kept close from him?
The family first. There's a lot of, again, and I think maybe that's why I'm that way. I think there were jobs that my dad didn't take because it would take him away from his family. And there was a lot of things he could have done. I don't know the whole story because I wasn't born yet, but I do know that, my dad was, he was a musician, and had a degree in music, and he had aspirations, even, until he died, he would write music, and he was, some of his songs were sold to people and even in other countries. So he always had that desire, but I know there was a point in his life where he said, I have a family to take care of, and I can't continue to do this and take care of my family. So I'm going to let this be kind of the music has to be, not that I'm going to put it down, but it's going to become secondary to,
right.
And that's when he started working at the plant to make sure that his family had everything that they needed.
Yeah.
So family first, I think that's why I am the way I am, because, and that keeps me grounded, that keeps me from making some decisions that, well, I'll just leave it at that. Family first. Yeah.
Okay.
But you always keep your family first.
That's good. And I think, you do an excellent job at it. You do.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I see and I honor and I value your sacrifice. But I have one more question before I say all that. What do you wish, or is there anything you wish that you could say to your father or ask?
See, now you're don't try to make me cry.
I'm not trying to make you cry. But, if there is something that you could say to him today, or something, or even asking him a question, what would it be?
I don't want to say it. I would ask him if he was proud of me. I know he was, but my dad was he was an old school dad, so he may have told me he was proud of me. I think I remember him saying it a couple of times, but it wasn't like, But I knew he was.
Yeah.
And I would ask him, was I a good son? So.
I think you were a fabulous son. I think you were a wonderful son.
Stop.
I do. Why are you telling me to stop?
Because you're trying to make me cry on the podcast.
I'm not trying to make you cry on the podcast, but you were.
You're trying to be Yolanda Van. What's her name?
No, I'm not trying to be Yolanda Van.
Yeah, trying to make people cry all the time, bro.
But you were there. You were present. You served. You showed up when he needed you most, and when it was inconvenient. All of those things. So I think you were a fabulous son. You're a wonderful son to your dad. And I think that he was very proud of you.
Yeah, I know he was.
When he spoke to me about you, he was very proud of you. So I want to say to you, as we are closing out the podcast.
See, here we go. I can't say that woman's name.
Will you stop trying to stop me from talking?
Okay, go ahead. Let me take this.
Yes, take it. All the
I'm working on receiving.
Yes. But you are a wonderful father to our children. I think you are the father that they both need. In addition to being a wonderful, loving husband, I could not imagine building a life or raising children with any other person on the earth. I believe God knew exactly who I needed in my life, and he knew exactly who our girls needed in their lives. And if it were not for you, there would be a lot of things that I know I would not be able to do. And the girls would miss out on a lot if you were not who you are. Sometimes it's not about the things that we give, but it's about the thing that we give. And so I want to honor you and say thank you for being you and for loving us so well. And happy welcome. Father's Day.
You're welcome. Okay, let's end. No, I'm just joking. Your marriage matters. Let's go. No, I'm good. I'm working on that. I'm working on receiving. I appreciate you saying that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. So thank you for being open and being vulnerable today with me and our audience. And I believe that this is going to benefit a lot of men. A lot of fathers, a lot of children, because of their relationship with their father will get better because of your words. So we want to say happy Father's Day to all of the fathers out there. We hope that you are blessed beyond measure and that your relationship with your children and your spouses or your children's mothers, that they are healthy and that they are whole, and that you receive more than you could ever imagine for the gifts of you that you give to your family and to your children. So happy Father's Day. We love you guys. Thank you for joining us. And remember that your marriage matters. See you next week, guys. Bye.